Hello there, and welcome back to another day where I have some free time. And in this day's video of nobita.h, we'll be trying to debug the Windows portion of nobita.h since, well, there are few errors there. And considering that when I tried to record on a Windows machine, it actually created a fork bomb, well, technically a process bomb that crashed the whole machine. So there are a few more things that has to be done. First, well, to actually fix that thing, that part, though I would like to rename Nobita Linux to just nobita.h. Now that we have done that, we can also have the if not defined guards or the header guards with Linux removed. There you go. And in the build stuff, the build files, well, there's no more Linux here. Whoops. And in the build Windows as well. It's not Nobita Linux anymore. Also, in nobita.h, the declaration for the function of add the formatted arguments, it's different when GNUC is defined in here. See that it takes the format first and not the argument type. So we gotta change that. And that's done. Now let's try running build. Well, that worked fine. But now for build.exe, see that there's nothing. And that is concerning. So the rebuild function is what's causing a process bomb to go on. Well, to go off in my Windows machine, causing it to crash. So in try rebuild over here, we have, well, technically the same ones, but still, hmm, maybe we can try to add something over here in this definition block that if clang or GNU is defined, we can add something else, more compile flags over here. Our previous compile flags of all warnings, um, pedantic, and extra warnings, along with max optimization with debug options with F sanitizer, well, address sanitizer. Same thing will happen over here in MSVC, though the dashes will be slashes. And I guess that's that. Let's try rebuilding the build file. again. Oh no, it's not F sanitizer. Now this won't compile properly. So let's try that again. Okay. Now back to uh, build.txt for the Windows version. Was it FE? And let's try rerunning this thing. Now the processes failed to build, but also the glob, well, the find first file is, well, it's not how I expected it to turn out to be. Since it's not outputting the partial path that we've inputted as well, just straight up the files. And that's what I've noticed too late. And I've got a fix to that now. So over in the Windows version, you can see that here's the file name. You can just append that to the sources. Well, that is fine. But also, I don't think the MSVC compiler will accept an O file. And considering that the C file name buffer, well, it's a buffer of 260 characters or bytes, maybe it can handle changing the extension along with its null byte to an OBJ and an extra null byte at the end. Maybe it would be fine. Also, we can have a copy of the argument over here. So where can I put this thing? Maybe over here. So call that arg directory and call our stir duplicate on arg and call their name on that, which we can then add to stir join on the current executables directory with arg there, then the file name. Now I think that should be fine, especially here in the add sources. Well, here in S. So arg dir over here as well after the cache directory. Now where else? I guess over here as well. Arg dir. Also, we can copy and paste this thing and add, make this to 4. And I believe this should be fine since, well, I'd like the glove function to just be used normally and not recursively using 2 asterisks. Though the glibc supports recursive gloving with the glove function. Now, that's a difference in my implementation now, since that's the one facing the user. But oh well, let's try this again. Wine build. Okay, Now test source is there with the that object extension, though I'm a bit worried with the self-rebuilding part. Though surprisingly, it was able to rebuild itself. Well, at least try to launch the command to rebuild itself. But I believe my wine config is not configured to have CL, but the one installed on my /opt directory, it's not in path this MSVC folder. So I guess we're almost done. I'm just forgetting to free the argdir that we have allocated for the Windows part of add sources. Also, back in, I think it was the arguments for the commands, cmd arg or add args. This shouldn't really fail. So, well, I guess I can still check for the invalid handle value anyways, and just continue on. So I guess I did this correctly. It was just, wait a minute. Maybe I still have to do something about this. Possibly another argdir. But let's see. So here's arg again. Well, argdir anyways. And duplicate arg and pre-argdir at the end. Also, this should not be duplicate but stir join L with the path separator. So the file name, the arg directory, and null. I think that should do the trick. Nice. But I should also add that here. Well, not to forget that I should also run their name over here. I spelled that wrong. And here in stir duplicate, maybe I can just copy this one and paste it. And I think that should be it. So let's recompile this ourselves and rerun it. Now that's more like it. Okay. Now that I believe this is done, I'm just gonna cut now and join the Windows portion later on the actual Windows machine. But thank you for sticking with me this far, and may I see you on the next cut.